be. This forecast written, epic we gon' see.
Peace. Welcome to another episode of musicindustry. My name is Aquil. Eternal High Frequency is what I represent. Make Sense is out right now on all streaming platforms. My first single from my up-and-coming project, Traveling Light. My second single, Identity, is out right now on all streaming platforms from my album coming, Traveling Light. And soon, Tony's Son, my third single, will be coming out very soon in the next few weeks. So look out for that. Now, this show will be controversial. I'm going to call it the Kanye topic. And if you've been hiding in Antarctica or in an underground secret laboratory or base or Area 51, 52 or whatever, or in the pyramids under the ocean of the coast, off the coastline of Japan, or wherever these secret places, maybe in the middle of the ocean, Fiji somewhere, and if you don't have any access to social media or mass media and you don't know the topics that Kanye have been discussing, then I don't know what to tell you. So, with that said, I won't get too deep into it because what he's saying is nothing new, is nothing that hasn't been said before, it's nothing groundbreaking, it's just someone with notoriety and money saying it. What I will say though, is that I think Kanye is somebody, just from my observation, that plays both sides of the fence, as an opportunist, that does things for shock value and attention to a fault. But with that said, and it's funny, in my next song that I'm putting out, Tony's Son, I touch on, Michael Jackson and Bob Marley and Prince mysteriously dying, because these artists were groundbreaking, they were revolutionary in many instances for their business sense, for their ability to buck the system of exploitation in the music industry, and for their overall presence, just their unwillingness to succumb to being exploited, and if they were exploited, to acknowledge it and publicize it and let people know that the end all be all is not to be famous and super rich, but to control your image, control your message, to have power over your career. So that's very powerful, and all these artists died mysteriously, and people call it conspiracy theorists. And it is conspiracy and it's no theory, because a lot of the issues around these artists passing is very troubling. But with that said, I will say that it's ironic, because I talked about this in a previous show about the messages of us killing ourselves, us selling drugs, us being thugs and criminals and child beaters and rapists and woman beaters and womanizers is publicized all over the world, and it's popular and it's cool. But the minute you say something about any other community, that goes against community guidelines. So the minute you start exposing that our expectation is the undergirding and the basis for Western nations especially, success and affluence and abundance, then that's against community guidelines. Quick story, a week ago I made a post on Instagram and I said the biggest financial collapse, and I'm no financial guru by any means, I've been bad with money, so I'm not going to sit here and say I got the greatest financial advice, but I just put two and two together and I said the biggest financial crash will be when African nations, its people, and its diaspora, which is us in the West and some of us in the East and some of us in Eurasian countries and so on and so forth, start trading our resources, our time, our talents, and our skills for equal and fair value. That will be the biggest financial crash the world has ever seen, because since the inception of the printing press and since the transatlantic slave trade, there has been an imbalance where African nations, its people, and its resources have been exploited for the benefit of a handful of Eurasian and now Eastern countries or Asian countries, and Western nations that were founded by Eurasians that colonized, raped, pillaged, and pillaged for the benefit of those crowns and aristocracies in Europe. But I say that to say that the biggest financial crash will be when our people start trading our skills, talents, and abilities and resources for equal and fair value. Not even exploiting. We don't have to be exploitative. We don't have to mark up anything. Just getting fair value for the work that we do. There will be a major financial collapse. Why? Because everything is dependent on us being the beast of burden, us being exploited, us being undermined, us being devalued. And just proof of that is me making that post and it going against community standards, right? But I posted my old song from my last album, full-length album, Land of Synth, and it's called Integrity. And in the end, I spoof, a lot of the popular songs, smoke weed, kill, smoke weed, sell drugs, kill, and that didn't go against community standards. These social media outlets and media outlets can post our people, especially being murdered, maimed, harmed, just decimated physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, right? But that's not against community standards. But you state a fact that the whole world, especially Western nations, are benefiting off our exploitation financially, especially, and that's against community standards, and that doesn't raise an eye. So it's very interesting. And then I saw another post about Chameleonaire auditing a label, and he found that they owed over, I want to say $600,000 that they didn't pay him. And he was saying that the music industry is based off of exploitation, and that doesn't raise an eye. But sadly, our people are trained to see that the validation outside of themselves and outside of their communities and neighborhoods and people as something to aspire to. And that's what brings me full circle back to Kanye, because it seems that while he says things that maybe should be looked into, it seems that he's looking for the validation from these same communities, instead of just saying, you know what, I see that the screw job that's going on, I'm going to make sure that it doesn't go on as far as I'm concerned anymore, but instead of doing that, you're begging these people for acceptance. Like the interview with what's the guy's name with the hat? He never takes it off. I forgot the guy's name. Long story short, Sway. Yes, Sway. The interview with Sway. When Sway was like, but why don't you just do your own thing, Kanye? You don't have to answer, Sway. That classic, conflict or whatever, verbal, back and forth. But I say that to say that this man is begging for acceptance, and that's something that our people do pretty much, with the labels, and literally and figuratively. The record labels, unless you're recognized by a record label, you're not doing it big. You're not doing it big. It's funny, and I'll end on this note. I play my music for people, or people hear my music, and they always ask, is he signed, or is he on a label? It sounds like it's on a label, and they're like, why do you have to be associated with the label in order for your music to be good? Why do you have to be associated with a major label in order for you to have quality content and music and ability and skill? Why can't you just make quality music that you're able to distribute and share and profit off of without a middleman? Something to think about. But that's all I have to say. What say you? I'll see you on the next one. Remember, my music is out on all streaming platforms. Be sure to check out the link in the description box. Turn Out Frequency is my website. Traveling Light will be coming out next year, in the next few months. And all my singles are out right now. As far as Identity, I just put out recently. Make Sense, and soon Tony's song will be coming out. So, like, subscribe, share. Remember to press the alert box so you can the bell so you can get reminded on when new shows are coming up, and I will see you on the next one.